Hold it! What do you mean by that? You want the time of this crime, isn't that right, partner? If so, that video is the only direct evidence you have. But that video is next to useless! It's full of blind spots! Blind spots? Places you can't see. The camera's panning back and forth. The floor isn't shown. If someone was familiar with the camera position, he could leave the room without being caught on tape. We don't have time for your speculations, Mr. Wright. Well, Mr. Wright, if you can show us evidence in this videotape that indicates Officer Marshall is present, please do now. Alright. Very well. Allow me to point out your mistake, Officer Marshall. Tread carefully, Mr. Wright, or you might wind up being the one making the mistake. Now then, let's have another look at the video. Show us the incriminating evidence. Oh god, the exclamations are up there. Hold on, hold on. Right there. Bringing our attention back to the security camera is a mistake I'm afraid you'll soon not forget, Officer Marshall. The days are short in Texas, and so are our tempers. Could you sum up what you have to say in 8 words or less? Very well. You can clearly be seen in this video! Exactly 8 words. Not bad, partner. The key lies in a certain locker shown in this video. Watch, you can see it. See, this is locker. Wait. Does that say judge? Is that a typo? See this locker that is the white cloth sticking out? This is the witness's locker. Now then, let's rewind the video a bit. I think that's a typo. Wow. Rewind. Rewinding. Oh, the white cloth! It's gone! What's the meaning of this, Officer Marshall? When the crime took place, the white cloth wasn't there. Then, it suddenly appeared. There's only one explanation. Officer Marshall, you were in the evidence room at the time of the crime. What's more, you opened your locker when the camera was turned away. Order! Order! It would seem that the only... Hold your horses. Sorry, partner, but you got the wrong man. So what if my locker was open? That doesn't mean I'm the one who opened it. The murderer needs to hide something, so he opened the locker and stuck it in. That's not my fault that happened to choose mine. Why is everyone staring at me like I'm a wanted man? Because you're a dipshit. This guy isn't just playing dumb, he really doesn't know. I hate to rain on your parade, but you're the only person who can open that particular locker. Oh yeah? I call your bluff. You say open, now prove it. This is easy. Fingerprint sensor? We talked about this earlier today. The locker can only be opened by detectives they belong to. Well, what kind of crazy talk is this? Well, Detective Gumshoe didn't mention something about this. In any case, the locks aren't that obvious. There's even some people in the force that don't know about the fingerprint locks. So, Sheriff, what do you have to say in 8 words or less? Is that jerky? I want jerky. I only got 1 word for you, partner. No! Nice. Order! Order! Witness, explain yourself! If this is a joke, it's the worst I've ever heard. I assure you, this is no joke, Officer Marshall. Now then, please tell us what you were doing in the evidence room at the time of the crime. Olay! Please answer the question! But what is he now, a bullfighter? That's alright, Officer Marshall. I believe we can figure out the rest from here. We can? Have a look at these floor plans. There's no place for someone to hide in the evidence room. Yet Officer Meekins didn't see Officer Marshall. If that's so, then where was the witness? It seems Mr. Wright has an answer. That's right. The only possible conclusion. Well then, let's hear it. Where was Officer Marshall at the time of the crime? Well, there's only one place he could be. Officer Marshall was standing right here. There? But that's where the victim, Detective Goodman, was. Correct. Unless the man wasn't Detective Goodman. I believe the victim in the video is Officer Marshall. It was you dressed up as Detective Goodman. But that's preposterous! Officer Mickens witnessed the detective at the crime scene. Once he saw the man's face, he'd know for sure. May I point out, though, that Officer Minkin did not know Detective Goodman. He also testified about the man's reaction when confronted. When I entered the evidence locker, into the evidence room, I asked him to show his card, sir. Yes, and how did Detective Goodman respond? He suddenly pulled a knife on me! Something about the officer's story puzzled me. If the man had his ID card, why didn't he just show it? Yes, he would have needed it to enter the evidence room, so he must be carrying it. The answer is simple. He couldn't show it. As you can see, Detective Goodman's picture is on his ID card. Oh, I get it! If he showed that, his cover would have been blown. Officer Minkins would have realized that man wasn't Detective Goodman. Do you have anything to say to this, Officer Marshall? Ugh, you've got quite an imagination, partner. We got a term for that. It's called circumstantial evidence. Circumstantial evidence? He's still denying it. You're gonna have to do better than that to break a detective. Unless you have hard evidence proving I dressed up as the victim. I can't say I particularly care for your uncooperative disposal. I can't say I care for your beer, but you don't see me complaining. Well, Mr. Wright, do you have evidence? Any evidence proving beyond a shadow of doubt that Officer Marshall dressed up as the victim? Well, who am I kidding? I don't have anything like that. I can see a fear in your eyes, partner. Seems you're the one who couldn't take the desert heat. Damn it. Ugh! This can't be happening. It's so obvious he's the one. What can I do? It looks like your lack of experience has finally been exposed. I'll pass on to you what someone told me when I was just starting out. When you're running into a wall with no place to go, return to the basics. The basics? For me, that would be what Ma used to tell me. Nick! Try thinking outside the box. I shouldn't look for proof that Officer Marshall was in disguise, but rather I should look for evidence that he came about because he was disguised. Why do you think the locker was open in the first place? What do you mean? There's no reason for Officer Marshall to open his locker at the time of the crime, yet he did, despite the chance it might be discovered later as it has been. Which means he didn't originally plan to open his locker. According to the defense's argument, Officer Jake Marshall dressed up as Detective Goodman at the time of the crime. Then, after the crime was committed, he opened his locker for some unknown reason. The fact that a white cloth is sticking out of the locker seems to indicate that he opened it in order to put the cloth inside. So, just exactly what is this piece of cloth? Perhaps the video is the key to all our unanswered questions. I don't have any evidence, so they'll have to make this short. Very well. Let's take yet another look at the security tape. After committing the crime, the witness opened the locker and put away a white cloth. Please show us why the witness had to open his locker.